I do want to run it back with a research desk and a Shadowspear over the Fables. It'd just be lower mana curve, all the Saga targets you could ever want. And then I don't want to say like I don't want to call this version no flex spots, but it kind of feels like that to some extent. You know, sometimes you'll like be stewing on an idea like this, like I've been thinking about this for a little while, and then you actually like lay it out in front of you after thinking about it, and this actually looks like very good to me. Like I think like looking at this time, it just this version like just now like actually seeing it in front of me for the first time just looks super duper clean. Fable's obviously a good card. It's a card I like. But well, would you say this makes it a no flex zone? Maybe I would say that, huh? Long stream, short stream actually. We started the stream late because there was Magic on Light maintenance. This is a hand I would like almost definitely keep on the play. Just play Saga turn 1. I think if you keep it on the play, you probably keep it on the draw 2 and the unknown. Get a league prediction. Okay, we're up against Yawgmoth again. It's kind of funny. Maybe I was supposed to... I don't know. The turn 1 Saga is very important with my triple Asmo hand. Pinging this hierarchy is also really important. We can get a league prediction going. I think either way we may just be like a little slow on the draw. We'll see, we'll see. They currently only have 1 black mana, so if they have Yawgmoth in their hand, they have to have another black source. We'll see. And we get, I would say max punished by drawing Finale of Devastation. Sadly, this is Boseiju, not Yavimaya, also. Why Wrenn and Six troll over more powerful payoff, Archon, Reanimator, or Greasefang? What's kind of funny about Reanimator, at least, is presumably that's more than just you know 8 cards. Reanimator's like 12 cards, but the idea is that Wrenn and Six is and Troll King are much more synergistic, and they are easier to make work, and they're harder to disrupt. Okay, so Needle on Yawgmoth is pretty appealing. Yeah, I think we just go Needle Yawgmoth. Yawgmoth 3 in Physician. And then we just finale our fourth Asmo into play. Get a cookbook going. Next turn can go like Wrenn and Six. Saga cookbook. Weird game. Oh, sorry, I forgot I had the floating mana, so I actually get to cast the cookbook this turn, which is good. And this one little Pithing Needle really just does turn this matchup like a complete 180, where it's tough. It's really tough game 1, and then games 2 and 3 are okay. And you can win game 1 a lot of times if you're like on the play and they go like Mana Dork and you go turn 2 Wrenn and Six. That usually will be like good enough for a win. But I feel like this dynamic is really good for this matchup. No scrap into Asmo. Yeah, maybe Scrapwork into Asmo is better than Finale. I could see that being better, yeah. Consider Member Needle. Yes, this is game 1. That we are currently. This is currently the main deck Pithing Needle. This is what we're doing. Hello, Lucy. And so like not only this matchup, but like this matchup and Breach, I just for like a week I was like, man, if we were just main decking Needle, this matchup would be so much better. So I'm starting to really like I'm starting to really like the idea of just not playing the flex spots, just not playing the Fables, just playing all the tutor targets, playing the main deck Needle. Maybe you can work a second Needle into the sideboard somehow. How did Lucy do with storms? Lucy does not mind the storms at all. Athena cares a lot about them though, because they do cord for Yawgmoth. This is game 1, and they've played their Boseiju though. I don't know if they. Sometimes they play 2 Boseijus. Sometimes they play 2 Boseijus. Okay, they get a messenger. Makes sense. I think I'm actually... I have 3 more Asmos in my hand. I think I'll just chump block. We're not usually chump block in this situation. Okay, Yawgmoth also does have, again, still protection from Asmo. Okay, this turn I think I'm just going to go Wrenn and Six, pick up a fetch land. Fetch Shock, discard. I think one of the Asmos. Discard, chump with an Asmo, discard an Asmo, cast another one. Pass back. Right, just sack, take 2 more damage. It's okay. Trying to think if they're like proliferate ever really gets me. Not really. Not really. I want to play Saga this turn. I also would like to maybe trigger Gingerbread Cabin this turn. Let's Gingerbread Cabin this turn. That lets me just activate this Asmo a lot easier. Okay, and then do I want to Mutt or do I want to... I think I just want to play another cookbook so I can double activate next turn. Could you get back Troll King, actually, instead of activating Asmo? Don't think I care that much. Yeah, Troll King, I guess. Well, no, because of the Exalted. Yeah, we'll just pass back. But I do imagine unless my opponent like has a second Boseiju in the deck, and they draw their second Boseiju. This is game 1, remember. We just should be pretty good here. No, we 4-1 the last league. We lost to Yawgmoth last league despite this main deck Pithing Needle. Are they gonna get Blood Artist? Yeah, main deck Caustic Caterpillar, main deck Haywire Mite. Wouldn't it be the weirdest thing ever? I don't think we're currently living in that world, though. Lucy. Yeah, Grist. I guess that makes the most sense, huh? Okay, interesting that they choose to plus instead of killing, minusing here. Not sure if that's correct. Yeah, they have no cards in their hand. No real reason to activate this Asmo right now either. Okay, that's a nice pickup. Just start off by casting this. Saga into the hand is nice. It lets me ping something pretty easy. I actually wouldn't mind drawing a Goose here, just getting like an extra blocker into play. Like I can just go now. Mutt. Oh, sorry. I needed to stack these triggers the opposite way and I get a little bit less value. I can activate Asmo 3 times or Troll King. Activate Asmo once. So I imagine 3 Asmo activations is probably better. Just kill this now, and then I imagine that we'll see if they minus sacking the insect or not. I might kill the Geist, because if they do have Boseiju, I really want them to have no Geist in play. So if they, let's just say they draw Boseiju, they go minus Grist, sack the insect, target here. I respawn, target the Geist, but then they respawn Boseiju, and it's really bad for me. So I actually think just killing this Geist now is probably the best line. Although maybe I should have pinged the Geist. That probably would have been a bit better. I think this is fine. And we just have, you know, we just have backup Asmo in the hand, and I imagine that'll mostly wrap things up. Okay, they decided to plus Grist again. Wasn't really expecting them to do that, but that's okay. We draw our third cookbook, so have one more in the deck we can get next turn. Although we probably just get Shadowspear, actually. Grist ults could hurt. Yeah, I could just ping it. I think that's probably what their plan is. Grist ultimate. Not a bad plan. Yeah, and they see that I'm not going to fall for it, and they concede. Okay, we may just actually be on no sideboard now. I brought in the Pyrite Spellbomb last time. I guess I'll bring in Spellbomb over, like, Research Desk and click Submit. But it is really funny just how, like, just the decision to main deck the Pithing Needle, like, turns this matchup to, like, pretty unfavorable to, like, maybe slightly favorable. You know, just, like, that one relatively small change. Like this hand. Just keep. Not sure. We'll see what they do turn one. It's going to impact how we sequence, I think. And if we draw Daredevil, we'll probably like be locked into play Cookbook also. Drew a Troll King. Yeah, let's play Cookbook. Cookbook is going to let me kill a Wall of Roots next turn, which is something I'd be a little bit interested in. And now we have something that's also good to discard. No Soul Guide hit Undying Creatures. Yeah, we talked about this last time we played the matchup. In my opinion, Soul Guide Lantern is bad. All it does is trade for one Undying Trigger, which is not that great of a trade. And because it's in play, your opponent will like never fall for it, or like it never like gets them. They will always be able to like make that decision to play into the Lantern with, you know, the knowledge that it's going to happen. And when they do that, it's going to be a good exchange for them. Is my audio out of sync? Probably not. Yeah, I mean, Troll King is pretty good in this matchup. I don't know that I'm interested in cutting it. I do think I want to kill this Wall of Roots more than I want to get back a Troll King this turn. But this like locks up the board pretty well. Now, if we can keep the board clear, Yawgmoth itself doesn't do that much. Keeping the board clear is maybe easier said than done. They started to pay cost and then didn't, so perhaps a somewhat suspicious endurance. I think I'm supposed to play this Wrenn and target on the Catacombs. I think that maybe this plays into endurance more than the Steelseeker line goes, but maybe they don't have endurance either. Asmo and Stuffy Doll. Asmo and Reckoner, maybe. Oh no, that doesn't even work. It has to be Stuffy Doll. Go for the Throat. I think, never seen Go for the Throat in Yawgmoth. That's interesting. Presumably to kill Murktides. I haven't seen this art either. Not saying it's bad, I'm just saying I've never seen it. Bro reprint, yeah. Makes sense. Asmo. I've always wanted to Asmo an Obliterator. Just want to see the world burn. Asmoing your own Obliterator is pretty bad for you, right? Or the important things it misses in Modern, mostly Saga tokens. Yeah, mostly Saga tokens. There's a few other artifact creatures. Not a ton at the moment, I guess. I mean, Esper Sentinel, I guess, is the big one. Gingerbread. Alright. Trying to think if I want to sack a food tokens before I play the second Steelseeker. Probably not. They're gonna force a vigor me. Alright, so let's get one food token here. Keep that on top. They have endurance green cards, not the end of the world. Okay. Not actually doing so bad here. Troll King's a lot of pressure. Really, they have to combo. They're not really going to ever beat the Troll King fairly. They have no board presence to speak of. Wrenn and Six kills any mana dorks. Wrenn and Six also gives me a card to discard to the cookbook that's on the top of my library. I can trigger Steelseeker like 6 times next turn. Really not doing so bad. Okay, I guess that can kill my cookbook. That would maybe not be so bad anyways. I only have 1 cookbook left in the deck, but keeping that board clear, attacking them. Probably have to graveyard. I do have another cookbook in the deck. Alright, let's keep that on top. I know we get like a lot less triggers if we keep that on top, but it's pretty good for next turn. Oh, you want to be able to sack the cookbook here. I don't know. They can respond to the fetch. Like Street Wraith and Steelseeker and draw the card with Surveil more consistently. Well, you can do that with Scrapwork Mutt too. I typically really dislike Street Wraith in these kind of decks. Opponent's deep in the tank. Them fetching Daredevil makes me think that they have Yawgmoth. I don't think they would want to fetch it into this Wrenn and Six unless they were planning to Yawg this turn. So they're going to Eldritch Evolution the Liberator into a Yawgmoth. I need to think about like getting rid of this finale, but I don't think I need to do that yet. Obviously, again, the big issue, Asmo can't kill Yawgmoth. If Asmo could kill Yawgmoth, our lives would be much easier. I have ultimated Wrenn and Six, I think, exactly 1 time. I did Finale a bunch. Okay, don't really care about that. Okay, let's keep this Finale on top at this point, I think. Don't think we're discarding the Catacombs for a food just yet. Get the one from the yard. I should have 1 more cookbook in my library. So I think I'm probably just digging for like Scrapwork Mutts and Urza Sagas since I get to trigger this so many times. There's a Daredevil. So if I go discard this Catacombs, they do get to hearse me pretty well here. There's not much I could do about that. I didn't even have a land in the yard to like target with the Wrenn and Six. Oh, but I mean, if they're just not gonna hearse, nobody knows how to play against the food deck. This is kind of a confusing element when you're trying to evaluate how good your deck is. I suppose, but people straight up don't know how to play around it, which is why couldn't they hearse the Asmo from the yard? So when you're resolving the finale, there's like when you choose to return the Asmo, there's not a window between you choosing to get the one from the yard and your library and them getting to hearse. They would have had to hearse with the finale on the stack. And here we just Goose in response to them targeting the Daredevil, and they concede. The curve looks really. I like how like low the curve looks right now. Although Research Desk is like deceptive, it's not really that low of a curve, I guess. Probably get a mulligan, no lander on the play. This is a Wrenn and Six deck, so it doesn't mulligan that poorly. Okay, let's keep this. Sequencing gets weird. I think I'm gonna put back Asmo and just keep Finale as my Asmo. I I think like a lot of times in this hand, I would want to just go put back Goose, put back Asmo, play Saga turn 1, Steelseeker turn 2, and then start triggering Steelseeker turn 3. On this Mull to 5, though, I don't know that we can afford to just play the Saga on turn 1. We may need to get more value out of it. But I do think that putting back Goose Asmo is going to be the plan. I think we play Stomping Ground turn 1. And then we evaluate, and then we probably go Finale on turn 2, Finale and get a Cookbook, and then on turn 3 we get to go Steelseeker, Saga, Cookbook, trigger Steelseeker once or twice. Yeah, we started the stream late today because there was Magic Online maintenance. Weird day today. I'd have been a land over Goose. You need these lands to cast your Finale. I don't know. I'm not a big fan. Goose dies a lot. Curd Ape. I've not considered it. Does block Ragavan, I agree. Rogran Triome. Yeah, we're just gonna draw Goose anyways. I think I'm pretty happy with how this Mull to 5 turned out. I'm also pretty happy to play against something besides Ragavan or Yawgmoth. Be curious about 1-2 Elvish Reclaimer. I've played Reclaimer in Saga decks. I think it kind of sucks. So we're gonna get Binding here, I guess. So they're a white-based Leyline Binding deck, presumably. No Karuga. I wonder if they're that Heliod Leyline Binding deck. I think I want a Goose over Cookbook. Cookbook is better, I guess, if I hit a land. If I hit a land, I'm kind of happy anyways, though. Okay, did hit a land, and kind of happy. Lucy. Oh. Probably remove the text now. Okay, pretty good draw. Start off by casting a Cookbook. I guess my opponent's playing Rhinos. Not really sure. So I think with that presumption, I can discard Needle. It's really hard for me to put them on something other than Rhinos at the moment. Unfortunately, my constructs will only be a 4/4. I think they're going to Violent Outburst. But assuming that we can resolve Finale next turn, we'll be able to really clean up these Rhino tokens. We're in relatively good shape. I mean, we have to take a 16, but our Saga tokens will be really big. They'll be bigger than the Rhinos, and we can also put a Finale for an Asmo on the stack, which will be pretty good as well. Yeah, we 4-1 the last league. Lost to Yawgmoth, beat Yawgmoth last round too. Yeah, now we have Shadowspear also, which is a big help as well. Don't think I'm very likely to go for Shadowspear this turn, though. Much more likely to get a Cookbook. Nice to have things to discard here. We also have 3 forests, so if we draw a fetch land or cabin, we can cabin. Yeah, I do want to make another token, so let's make that other token. I also am pretty interested in being able to cabin this turn. So thankfully we have a lot of triggers. Daredevil also makes discarding really easy now. I think if they had a second Violent Outburst, they probably should have cast it on their turn just for more damage. That is maybe not true. Okay, there's a cabin. I guess I could discard it one more time just to maybe naturally draw the cabin, be at 1 less life. But also doing this before the fetch, or doing this before shuffling is kind of... I guess it doesn't matter, actually. I'm going to shuffle again anyways if this resolves. Oh, now I can just keep this on top. I can just keep this on top, and then if they counter this finale, then we can put another Asmo into play again next turn. It'd be better to make token during upkeep for extra selection. Yes. Okay, so they do have the Force of Negation. This by itself is not that big a problem, though. We've got 2 large and in charge constructs. They have 3 cards in their hand. We have another finale coming for next turn. We have a lot more Steelseeker triggers. This was a mold of 5 on our part, also. It's a preferred format for deck text. It's kind of a bummer. There's just any site where I can like look at the text and understand the text. Doesn't really matter. Thoughts on Aether Vial? I'm not pro Aether Vial in this deck. It's like really only good with Asmo. It's okay with Steelseeker, I guess. It's okay with Mutt, but like for Vial to be good, you have to play like 22 creatures that work with Vial usually, and this deck has like 16. And the Goose is not that good. It's okay. You would count it. You would count it towards the total. Yeah, but you need like minimum 22 for Vial to be good, and then you also need to fit 4 Vials in. So for Vial to work, you would need like 6 more creatures, presumably 4 Vials, and so that's 8. That's 8 slots, or 10 slots. 10 slots. There's no room. No room. Okay, we're going to game 2 against Rhinos. I think that we're maybe on the... Well, I guess I don't want the Pithing Needle. And Haywire Mite does answer Leyline Binding. I don't know if I want 2 Mites. Sometimes I'll bring in 2 Mites, but... Yeah, maybe second Mite's better than the Dask. Yeah, I guess not Shaka. Yeah, rest in peace, Yorion. I mean, you can play more than 60 cards in decks, but not this one. This deck really wants to maintain its synergies as much as possible. Have I played Australian Highlander? I haven't, no. Although I will say every Highlander, Canadian, Australian, whatever, the Highlander fans are... They really firmly believe their format is great, so maybe it is. This hand is fine. We have Wrenn and Six as like a card engine to give us food for our Asmo, and Asmo is pretty good against Rhinos. Opponent's on a mulligan to 6. They have a Leyline of the Void, which is good against my hand. I do have Haywire Mite in the deck, and I have Boseiju in my hand. I would prefer not to have to Boseiju the Leyline, but especially when my opponent's just played turn 1 Gemstone Caverns. We'll see. I think there's a good chance I'm just going to go like turn 2 Steelseeker Cookbook, but I would really like to draw a non-Boseiju land, so I have the option to get rid of the Leyline with this Boseiju down the line. Yeah, which I did not do, but I think just using Steelseeker as like a card advantage selection spell. It is obviously like way worse with Leyline in play, but it can give me lands in my hand to discard to get food to kill their board. There's a land right there. I think in their upkeep, I'll probably just discard Wrenn and Six. So we get the other trigger here. I think we can keep a finale. Just use this as like backup Asmo if they kill the first one. Get Mite. I think I'm just gonna get an Asmo. You could get a Mite here though. I think that like this, to me, the way I'm thinking of this line is that it is not great for me that it's in play, but it's something I can ignore for a little while, and then, you know, if I find a Saga off the Steelseeker, I'll be able to get rid of the Mite, but I could just ignore this for a little bit and stabilize and then deal with it later if I would need to. All 4 cookbooks. Bit scared of force if I have to like discard cookbooks and stuff. Do you have to discard at least 1 cookbook here so I can activate Asmo once? Here we can kill a Rhino, block an agent with Asmo, take 4. Second agent will be pretty bad. Beatable though, potentially. I don't think I want to discard either of these cards in my upkeep. I could make a food in my upkeep, but then some of my draws get a bit worse. Let me just start off by casting a cookbook here, triggering a Steelseeker. I can guarantee an Asmo activation with the cookbook discard and Goose activation, so I don't need to be worried about like me just bricking super hard here, I think. It's also really nice to note that my opponent doesn't have any red mana, so Violent Outburst is not on the table. Leyline Binding is not currently on the table for them. This pause, however, this pause that they have just paused makes me think that they have Force of Vigor. So I think the best way to play around Force of Vigor is just pass. So so that way they can't kill a food token and stop me from activating Asmo. Then I'll only be working with one cookbook for the rest of the game. Yeah, they do have the Force of Vigor. What did they pitch? They pitched a Crashing Footfalls. I'm doing this now so that if I find another land, I'm probably discarding this Verdant Catacombs. Maybe I'm discarding the Catacombs anyways. Yeah, that seems okay. Too bad I drew all 4 cookbooks that the second Asmo doesn't have anything to find. Another Steelseeker. So if I keep this Steelseeker, I can't activate the Goose next turn, so I think I just bend that. See if they have anything else. Probably not. And now we're kind of in that stage I described where we're stabilized, and now we can start trying to find an answer to Leyline. Maybe it's a little late. We're 22 cards deep. Maybe my opponent has Violent. If they attack with the Shardless Agent, they definitely have Violent Outburst. But I could make them use the Violent Outburst by blocking and discarding this extra Asmo, which I think is okay, because then I get more card selection, and this other Asmo doesn't have anything to get anyways, so that could be okay. Obviously, backup Asmo is nice against a removal spell, but I think if they have a removal spell, you know, yeah, it was like we get, if they attack with the agent, we block agent, they Violent Outburst, then we kill the agent. We don't need to play around the removal spell because they have Outburst and not a removal spell. Ben, 6 months, thank you. But them shocking and steam vents, it kind of looks to me like Leyline Binding. Uh-oh. That's my last cookbook. So I think with that being my last cookbook, I just get rid of this Asmo. Abandon the plan a little bit. Especially because I won't have a discard outlet to cast it from my hands. They only have 1 card. I still have an engine. I still have an Asmo. I guess I can keep this. Yeah, Urza Saga is like definitely like the card to find. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna use my food. I think I saved the food to like kill the. I brought in 2 Haywire Mites, so I may be able to just kill that and then like activate the Asmo. A second Goose. Let's actually keep second Goose. Kind of weird, but like we're both in top deck mode, and so like 2 Gooses just like lets me manipulate the top of my library so much better. Like dig for Urza Saga, dig for Haywire Mite and stuff. It's been a good game. That's not great, I guess. We're both still in top deck mode. Hey Tashi, how's it going? I think now their top decks are better than mine since they have Leyline in play. But I'm also at least able to be making food. They can't Fury me here. We got some good draws. Speaking of good draws. You have ice? I think this is ice. People like just despise. I guess icing is bad if I draw Steelseeker, so keeping that for fire could be fine. I guess that's fine. So one of the two cards is a land, the other one is a fury, unfortunately. There's no other card they cracked the fetch for. Although they might not have another fetchable red with Flooded Strand. I don't think they have Sacred Foundry. Yeah, their card is definitely Fury, and they realize they don't have another unfetchable red. It's funny. I feel like my reads have been really good today. This is what happens when I get to like actually sleep past 7 a.m. My reads just become godly. I'm just like tuned in. I'm tuned in. Alright, packing it in. 6-1 on the day. Right, easy mulligan. We're up against a Giganta deck, which right now in my mind, I don't think Giganta is definitely prowess, but I think it's like most likely prowess. I'm gonna keep this. I think I put back the Troll King, and I think I play Saga Desk turn 1, which is like, I know it's weird because like you would think you'd want to be able to like draw the green source finale next turn, but I think like if I miss, I'm not like favored to hit this. I'm not favored to hit this green source, right? And if I miss, I really want to be able to play Steelseeker on turn 2, so that I can on turn 3 just get the the cookbook and start triggering it a bunch. Yeah, that's also true. Like this time slot I'm in at the moment, like Doomway, Caleb, Dingo, yeah. Please no Saga. Maybe it's game 1, you know. Sometimes they have Saga hate, I guess. Okay, we're up against Giganta, Esper Sentinel, so, you know, some kind of blue-white affinity deck, not Hammer Time. Presumably. That's kind of sad, but not the end of the world either. So we can either pay for Sentinel or kill the Sentinel this turn and get a second cookbook in play. I think I just want to get the second cookbook into play, let them draw the card. It's just like really bad if they can kill the Asmo and I don't get to kill something with it. And then the Sentinel is still in play, being obnoxious. This also reduces their affinity account for like Thoughtcast this turn. I still have the Mishra's research desk to refuel. You gotta run. Did I just stop doing side quests to finish? I did most of the side quests. I did eventually pause and finish the game though. There's still some more I want to do, but I'm currently practicing the Dark Souls no-hit run instead. Okay, they do have the removal spell. No main deck Haywire Mite, unfortunately. Another Sentinel. Alright, that's a pretty good pickup. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I make both food tokens before I cast this Asmo, so if my opponent has like Dispatch or something, I'm not caught with my pants down making another food token without 2 food tokens in play. How many Dark Souls viewers do I need to permanently get to pivot to be a no-hit streamer? I don't think that option is on the table, as I love what I do. I never want to stop. Magic is, you know, my life, and I would rather be a full-time Magic streamer than a full-time no-hit streamer. So even with 1 million viewers, no way. Okay, that was a very fast game 1. We're going to bring in these cards. We're going to cut a land. You're going to cut the Shadowspear. You're going to cut the desk. Probably go down like 2 Troll King, 1 Goose, 1 Mutt. I don't know if I thanked you T-Done for the 14 months, but thank you T-Done for the 14 months. Do you mind talking about the decision to cut the land as a safest because I'm draw? I'm boarding in 3 Boseijus, so a lot of times you'll end up playing 1 Boseiju as land, so I don't mind cutting 1 land. Malibu, 9 months, thank you. You could play Haywire Mite in the main. You could play Haywire Mite in the main over Mishra's research desk, maybe. I am currently of the opinion that we are not living in a main deck of Mite format, but that opinion could change. We'll keep this. That opinion could change. Let's say it's worth getting into Moto for practicing Modern. I mainly play Paper right now. I'll come back to my 1 more practice. Magic Online is definitely the best place for quantity and quality of practice. In my opinion, like, you know, when you're playing just like your weekly tournaments at FNM, like that's obviously great and a big part. Oh, I meant to make a food. It's obviously great and a big part of Magic, but Magic Online opponents on average are a bit higher quality because it's like just really easy to go broke if you're not playing competitively on Magic Online, where in Paper you can just goof around like once a week, you know, and you just get to play so many more matches and you get to play like a lot of different decks for cheaper. Magic Online is the best place to get better at Magic, in my opinion, unless you just live in like some mythical fairy tale LGS, and in which case congratulations. Brea's Apprentice. Alright, that's gonna be fine. Oh, sorry. I meant to make a food into turn again. I don't know what's wrong with me. After all this self-congratulating too. So we're -2 food here. I yield through the turn instead of to the end of turn, I guess. Let's keep that on top though. Yeah, no longer dialed in. Dialed out. We are dialed out. Past my bedtime. No attack with the Apprentice. Maybe they're planning to like sack the Thopter to light up the stage. So my plan is to get Springleaf Drum off the Saga so I can cast Asmo this turn. We get to draw the Underworld Cookbook. Alright, so they're definitely a Goblin Engineer deck. Alright, Springleaf Drum, trigger. Love to put a land into the hand here. Let's go ahead and cast our second cookbook before we do anything else. Wow. Since if they sack the Lantern, I can just discard again to get the Daredevil back. Steelseeker has drawn us 3 cards so far. And counting. And counting. Alright, I think I want to keep that. Can't draw into it this turn, that's okay. I can just play a Goose. Pretty likely to just chump the Dragon Engine with the Goose, I guess, since it seems like they're pretty low on resources. I don't really want to just give them the... I guess I could just take 4 also. Yeah, just take 4. Have I tried any non-food shells for Steelseeker? I have. I've tried like some combo versions. So like, I tried like this in the like a trash. It was basically this deck, but it was like a trash for treasure version of this deck. And then I also tried it in this reshape Lotus build that was okay. Definitively okay. Any thoughts on upkeep Boseiju? On what? I'm just gonna take 4. What did they get? They got Blind Sash, that's right. I'd imagine lantern. This lantern isn't doing anything. Oh, I guess I could have killed the Mystic and then Wrenn and Six the Sash. I don't know. We're fine, we're fine. Okay, take this up to 2. We actually have enough mana to Steelseeker and make a Saga token since we have the Springleaf Drum and the Goose. So it's, I think that's going to be the play. Any thoughts on French fries the Great? Well, I don't know what it is about this week, but people keep asking me about food opinions. But I actually don't eat because it's I just need to play test more, so I'm always on IV instead. Trying to get my consciousness uploaded to the Magic Online database to just completely work around that completely. Kairu, Twitch Prime, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's just say no, no, let this trigger resolve. Now put the Mutt in the graveyard. Put this in the hands. Okay, we're gonna think we Twitch Prime. So Jimmy, I think I get a chance to speak next time. What am I practicing for? I'm practicing for a few things at the moment. Actually. Aren't I the Sultai guy? I am no one. I am no one, nobody. I am not the anything guy. Alright, block the engine at this point, I guess. Okay, keep that on top. Yeah, opponent says oops. I agree. I didn't like really look like I could make a construct. But we could. I'm gonna get a Haywire Mite. I think I probably don't need to make a food token, another token. I think the world is relatively, or this game is relatively wrapped up also. Yeah. Alright, 3060. 7-1 on the day. Okay, close hand, get a mulligan. Let's keep this on 6, put back second finale, I guess. Do you think you can play 2-3 Force of Vigor instead of 3 Boseiju? You could. I wouldn't, but you could. Like, you know, one nice thing about the Boseijus is like they randomly give you better time against decks like Tron, which can be kind of a hard matchup, but you could. It wouldn't be that. It would be pretty reasonable if you did that, actually. Okay, against turn 1 Blackleaf Cliffs, I'm pretty sure I just play Saga turn 1. How's the stream been? It's been a weird day since we had Magic Online maintenance, so we're like streaming past our usual hours, and I'm actually like well rested and focused, but we also don't have most of our usual people here either. Voidwalker has definitely been getting me. In fact, I kind of want to offer my opponent. I want to offer my opponent a Feasting Troll King. Have I bought the deck and paper? Yes. I'm trying to think if there's anything I'm missing. No, I should have everything. I have the finales. I've got the mites. I have a place of foil and non-foil Steelseekers. Probably gonna lose this one. Voidwalker into Blood Moon on the play. Scam is pretty tricky. We did beat Scam earlier today. Can definitely lose the Scam. I'm gonna concede here. Save us all a little bit of time. So I want the Lantern. I want the Pyrite Spellbomb. I've been liking Mite a bit more lately too. So I usually go down to 1 or 0 Goose. Usually go up 1 or 2 Boseiju. Let's just do 1 Boseiju. Or maybe, I don't know, I kind of waffle a bit back and forth, but what if I Do what I did last time. No Boseiju, just play 2 Mites. What's cool about Mite is it blocks Ragavan also. 1 Goose, 3 Troll King. Yeah, just a lot of different options here. Is there a local shelter in my area I could donate to? You could donate to one in your own area, Raybert. Don't worry about don't worry about that. Our dogs also have, you know, they found us, you know. They found us. Do you ever come out? Yeah, sometimes I'll trim a Mutt. Not in this matchup. Mutt's pretty good against them. This is another matchup I like tapping Leyline for. I feel like Leyline's overboarding against them, but I mean, it's okay. Okay, let's keep this. I might play Saga on turn 1 again. Again, like Saga on turn 2 or after is kind of bad against Blood Moon. And then I can go turn 1 Saga, Pyrite Spellbomb, turn 2 Scrapwork Mutt, discard Daredevil, and then turn 3 I can get Springleaf Drum and cast Wrenn and Six. So it's a bit better if I don't draw a land. And then obviously if I could get a cookbook too if I do draw lands. I don't know. Layla Void, of course, one of those cards that, you know, when you draw it you feel smart, when you top deck it you feel bad. Although I will agree that Leyline of the Void is a bit better in this deck than it is in some other shells because you can discard it for value. Ah, we're dead. Game over, man. Game over. Let's go play the Mutt. Just gonna play the Mutt. If they kill the Mutt with a Fury and then Blood Moon me, this game was not meant to be. Well, Force of Vigor on the sideboard. Yeah, you could play 1 Force over like Boseiju number 4. I think that's pretty reasonable. One thing though is like Hammer Time, in my opinion, is one of your better matchups, if not just like your best matchup. Okay, I do love to trade Mutt for Ragavan. I think they're gonna undie this though, but that's okay. Drawing the land is really nice. You can pick up the Saga. So just a clean trade, clean honorable trade. Oh, they have the Hearse here. They main phase this, so I can Needle the Hearse, which I guess is going to be my line, so that they don't disrupt my Wrenn and Six too much. Needle the Hearse, and then Wrenn and Six pick up Saga. Cast Research Desk. Nice to have an answer to Voidwalker. Nice to be relatively resilient to discard with this hand. Kind of really weak to explosives here, actually. Just explosives on 1 wrecks me. Hidetsugu wrecks me. But it's really tough to just like put yourself in positions where those cards don't wreck you. Like when they just go 1-drop, 2-drop, explosives or Hidetsugu, it's hard to beat those draws a lot of the time. Although I will say Fable of the Mirror Breaker is like if this was a Fable instead, we would maybe be in okay shape to do that. And we still have a Saga if they do have the explosives or the Hidetsugu. Don't mind that at all. Yeah, I've said this a few times. Okay, I shouldn't say this right now. I should say this after the Ragavan hits me. Yeah. One really nice thing about this deck is that like most of the cards you have aren't very good for your opponent to cast with Ragavan. There are some exceptions. Most notably, Needle is horrible for them to hit with Ragavan. Also, them getting rid of the Gingerbread Cabin is kind of a bummer. But there's a little bit of value there. JP, 2 months, thank you. Don't mind that Thoughtseize. Just generally doing okay here, I think. It's an interesting draw. Alright, so I'm going to play Saga, and then I'm going to sack the Research Desks. It's a bit worse if I see a Saga on top, but I can just play that next turn. If I hit Finale, I can cast Finale too, with the green. I did find a Saga, but let me go ahead and just take this cookbook instead. A lot better with this Feasting Troll King. Did I see the 5.0 only call basically version of Daredevil? I didn't see it. I'd like to take a look though. I've had Daredevils in some versions. If they hit Needle, they just name Cookbook. Yeah, they usually. Yeah, if they hit Needle, they name Cookbook. Usually. Lucy, what are you doing down there? Yeah, we're just playing one cabin. It's hard to play more than one copy with 20 lands and 5 of them being not forests. We're not as lucky as arena deck builders that just get to conjure cards to their hand. Or a spellbook or whatever. It's pretty interesting design space, but like the tutors on arena, the fact that you don't have to draw them. You don't have to draw these cards. It's like very interesting design space. So there's Ragavan, 3 mystery cards. Not Dashing Ragavan. We have Terminate, so it's kind of likely. You also have no say what they tutor for. Oh, I thought that you could choose. So it's wait, Conjure is random. I thought with Conjure you got to choose. I should have known. I should have known. With Arena, there was bullshit. All right, can make a token this turn. Draft is used. When was the last time I played Arena? It's been a little while. It's been a minute. I imagine it was probably the last time I was testing for an Arena PT. Kolagun's command, I discard a card, destroy the Needle. It's fine, I guess. Let's discard the Stomping Ground. Okay, they're going to hearse my... They're going to hearse my Wooded Foothills. If they hearse my Wooded Foothills, though, I could not make a Saga token, and I could go Finale, Cookbook. Oh, I can't Troll King. I'm gonna be 1 card short. Oh, I could. No, I'm gonna be 1 card short. Although they don't target my research desk, maybe that's still just correct. We'll just commit to making a token. Can you kill Hearse with Finale Mite? I can. I think that's worse than like just making a token. Can do that next turn. Top 2%, awesome. So I can discard their Ragavan. 2 cards in hand. And ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I mean, the thing about like top percent anything, like honestly, like 80% of chatters just lurk and don't say anything. is how Twitch works. So it's really not that hard to be in the top, percentile. Not that we don't appreciate y'all. Okay, I think I want to keep my Saga around, so I'm going to go Pyrite Spellbomb on Voidwalker. Oh, I guess they'll just get to Hearse, actually. They'll just get to Hearse after I Haywire Mite this. Oh, did they draw an Undying effect? That'll be a pain. Oh, they fetch for a red. It's kind of weird. No, I don't mind people lurking. Listen, the lurkers are the lifeblood of the Twitch community. Go back to lurking. Go back. Oh my gosh, they didn't hearse. They just could have hearsed and they didn't. Maybe I want to play the Steelseeker this turn. Oh, they shame concede. Okay. I lurked for years and years before I really honestly I stopped lurking when I started streaming. Oh, they can crew it? Oh my gosh. I didn't realize that was a punt on my part. You can crew Hearse in response to Mite. Okay, Mite sucks in this. Okay, they don't know about the interaction though. You can crew Hearse in response to Mite to save it. That's awesome. Yeah, all the lurkers coming out now. I'm gonna tweet that so people know. I don't like this hand. I also really don't like to mulligan in this matchup. So I think I'm gonna keep. Never Mulligan Club. Really don't like being on the draw against Ragavan with this kind of hand, but we don't really have, honestly, we don't really have any hands that are actively good against the Ragavan on the play. I do think I'm going to go for the Turn 1 Saga again. I've been doing this a bit more often and liking it. And I like being able to play the Lantern this turn to stop them from scamming me. I don't know. I messed up the spelling of Unlicensed Her so bad. Almost tweeted out a horrible typo. Sort of Verdant Catacombs. A card I probably would have liked to have in my hand. Takes my Steelseeker. Not super surprising, but certainly a little disappointing. Hearse is not so bad. We'll draw another Steelseeker or like a Mutt. Red Source would be okay. There's a Red Source, it's okay. It's a bit worse now that I've played the Saga turn 1. Damn it. I think I played the Foothills over the Cabin. It's maybe a bit ambitious. We might get to trigger the Cabin this game, though. And if my opponent does have Blood Moon, I want to be able to get Forest. I don't know that I'm going to Needle Hearse next turn. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. I might sack the Lantern. The Lantern could also, like, my opponent very well might have, like, Grief, Undying, Malice, though. And, like, this is just in play stopping that. Yeah, just a Verdant Catacombs. 4 cards in my opponent's hands. Okay, now we are, like, locked in on getting Pyrite Spellbomb, I guess. Weird game. Definitely feeling really behind. Well, they snapped off that Troll King. Okay, so it's really good that my opponent, again, they don't know about the Unlicensed Hearse crew fiasco, whatever you want to call it. So I think with this turn I'm just going to go Pyrite Spellbomb, kill the Dothy Voidwalker, cast the Haywire Mite with the ability to block Ragavan, kill the Hearse. If my opponent follows me on Twitter, though, they may have seen me tweet out the solution to their problem, so follow me on Twitter to beat me. Why are they crewing? Did they really, like, see the tweet in between? Is that what's happening here? Why are they crewing? Do they know? They didn't know last game. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they just misclicked last game. I think I'm still saving this Lantern. If my opponent undies their Ragavan, I guess I have to sack the Lantern. Because it comes back with a counter and then I just can't block it. So I feel like we started this game off so bad though. I'm surprised we're doing as well as it feels like we're doing. Obviously it's anybody's game still. They have nothing, so their hand is all 3 mana above spells and or undying effects. I think I just need to make a token this turn. Probably attack. Gloom, 27 months. You should use Creeping Chill in your Steelseeker deck. Maybe one day. Not the first time it's been suggested, actually. Okay, Dashing Ragavan. I guess I'm trading a Construct for Ragavan here. Not a super ideal trade, but I think we're still like pretty solidly ahead, especially because we get to go. We get to Needle the Hearse next turn, so they can't stop me from just picking the Saga back up with Wrenn and Six. We were on the draw. We had a bad hand on the draw against a turn 1 Ragavan. Against an opponent who also cast the 2 Thoughtseize, Voidwalker, Hearse against me, and Feign Death. Feels pretty good. Yeah, so there's not a window for my opponent to respond here to stop me from doing this. Name Unlicensed Hearse, and then I guess we also get to cast the Mutt. Discarding the other Wrenn and Six, probably. Yeah, Mite was really the key draw here. Even though like we haven't activated it, it really just like forced a lot of their action. Right, really lost in the Eldraine Common Land cycle. Well, Pip, I actually went 12-3 on stream this week with Idyllic Grange in Modern. 12 could have been 32, as I keep saying. But all of them are good. It's not that hard to play through like permanent base disruption because you have like such easy access to Haywire Mite Boseiju, to be honest. You have lots of backup plans, you have lots of card selections, you play Urza Saga sometimes. Stony Silence is harder to beat with, like needle effects on cookbooks can be hard to beat, Karn can be hard to beat, but Rest in Peace isn't so bad. What's the formula to determine correct number between 2 or 3 Orvar on the sideboard? Well, that's the thing about Magic and Modern, is there really isn't a formula. People want a formula, but there's not one. Like, I'm playing 3 Orvars because there's been like an uptick in creativity by my perception, and that's about it. And I had an extra sideboard slot for today because I moved. But that third Orvar could be a third Needle. But there's not much I could tell you beyond. I've been seeing a lot of creativity lately, and we also have not played against it once today. But we're also 8-1 today. Have I ever Devastation XTN? I don't think so. Cowell's 4 months, thank you. I think it almost came up once. Okay, turn 1, 4/4 Double Striker. Pitching, terminate. Play Saga, get hit for 8. Cabin, get hit for 8. Finale for Asmo. Kill a Fury. If I try to Finale on turn 2, I can't. Yeah, I need to play this too. On turn 3, get 2 foods. Why would an opponent do that? 4/4 Double Striker is pretty powerful. Is why. I know this is maybe not the most intuitive line, but this it does just kill your opponent enough of the time. Okay, that's a good draw because this is gonna let me at least be able to Troll King next turn. I guess I'm getting a Stomping Ground now. This is mostly just a line that you take on the play, I guess, but it's still pretty powerful. And like even if this like doesn't kill me, like their deck that has a couple bolts in it, like if they have a bolt here, I'm just dead. Yeah. Alright, so down a game against Scams. Okay. 2-0 against Scams so far today. And sideboarding a bit differently too. I think I've been liking the sideboard plan. Let's run it back. Why would opponent do that? That's why. It is kind of funny, like people in Modern, like I think to some extent are still like used to thinking of Modern as like the Vengevine Hollow One Arc-like Phoenix format where I talked about this a little bit, but like right before MH2 came out, we were talking about what the Rhinos deck would look like, and there was a lot of comments like, is 3 mana for 10 power in Modern even good? Is that even good? And the answer is yes. Yes, pretty good. Turn 1 4/4 Double Striker, pretty good. That can't be Fatal Push, can't be bolted. Can't really be heated either. Can be Furied. What do you think is the worst matchup? Scam seems tough. I think you're a little favorite against Scam. I think that the bad matchups are Breach, Yawgmoth, although those got a lot better because we're main decking the Needle. But Breach, Yawgmoth can be tough, and keep this. Turn 1. I think I go basic Forest, Springleaf Drum. I want to get a Forest because of the Blood Moons. And I could potentially go Saga, Haywire Mite, Wrenn on turn 2. Yeah, I think so. It was Yawgmoth Breach. I think that Yawgmoth is very close to the main deck Needle. Breach is probably also very close to the main deck Needle now. Tron is tough. Tron is really tough. Titan is favored for Titan, but Asmo is good against Titan at least. Yeah, it's mostly just, and like there's some like some spell-based combo decks are tough, but to be honest, for the most part, spell-based combo decks in Modern are not as popular as combo decks like Creativity or Glimpse or Living End or Rhinos. Okay, Glimpse is hard, but you're good against Rhinos Living End. So like actual Storm is not popular, but that is a hard matchup. Dredge. Dredge is, I don't think, that bad. You have like we have like 4 graveyard hate spells, but it's also true like one of the big reasons why Dredge is not that popular is the fact that it's kind of weak to just like a big construct with a Shadowspear on it. So the fact that we're an Urza Saga deck with Shadowspear, I think Dredge is probably not great, but we have plenty of plans against them. Prowess? Yeah, Prowess might be bad. I think Prowess is probably not a good matchup. I keep like thinking that it should be fine. I keep losing to it too. I think Modern would look very different without Urza Saga. Yeah, it would. It would look very different. Okay, end of turn Swamp. I think we can heavily make an educated guess that we're gonna get Blood Moon this game. So guess we're just ticking this up and passing. I really want to make sure I can get like at least a... Oh, hold on, let me actually turn this auto yield off. I want to make sure I can get at least a Saga token. No, Hammer Time's a really good matchup. You're a Wrenn and Six Boseiju deck. Haywire Mite is really good against them. Asmo is really good against them. Asmo is insane against Hammer. Okay, second Voidwalker. Not necessarily what I was expecting, but I guess I'm kind of happy that that was the play. Kind of surprised that they would attack the Wrenn and Six, since double Voidwalker is going to turn off this Wrenn and Six pretty well. And I'm a bit worried about an Undying effect. Like, usually I would just, like, pretty easily get a Pyrite Spellbomb, but an Undying effect is kind of tough. Let me just get a Shadowspear. I don't usually like to get Shadowspear too aggressively in this matchup, but this does feel like a pretty good spot for it. Obviously, Hitotsugu or... I mean, Hitotsugu is way worse for us than Explosives because we get to keep our ones. They have Push? Wow, they do have Push. Push is not that common. Wasn't really playing around it, obviously. So they're gonna cast this Wrenn and Six. It's pretty interesting. Is that so they can get a second Swamp in play for Blood Moon? Is it so they can hardcast Grief? They just need the lands in general. Looks like they might Undying the Voidwalker too. Guess Wrenn can also kill Haywire Mite. A good game. So presumably this is getting Wrenn. I don't think they're getting Saga. I think there's one more card. Yeah, Wooded Foothills. Wrenn would be a lot better than Wooded Foothills. Interaction between Prosperous Innkeeper and Ephemerate to ramp Advanced Soul Herder. I mean, it's just not very good ramp in a deck that curves out of 4. Oh, this is okay. So they got Wooded Foothills instead of Delta, so they didn't have to take more damage. I feel like I would much rather. I think it was better to get the Wrenn and get back the Delta. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right also. It's kind of boring, but just make a Saga token, equip the Shadowspear attack, seems fine. Kind of just declaring that I'm dead to Hidetsugu explosives. But they just got to draw 2 new cards, but they haven't had one of those yet. What do you think about those sweepers of Modern? Are they good enough? Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I guess I'm confused. Like, I think very few people in Modern at the moment have the take that the removal in the format is not good enough. The removal is, like, you know, it's kept up with the threats. There's a lot of it. You know, you choose different types of removal for different decks and different metagames, but the removal is pretty good in this format. And sweepers too. Oh yeah, Brothers in it. I mean, yeah, they can just Brothers in it me. Hopefully not. I think if they had Brothers in it, that card would have already been on the stack, though. Alright, take 7. Shocked in the Blood Crypt too. Kind of hard to not make a token here. I think I'm gonna get Soul Guide Lantern. I kind of suspect my opponent has an Undying effect for their Seasoned Pyromancer. It's kind of what I'm smelling right now. I don't really think there's such a thing as committing too much on this specific board, since my opponent has a top deck of Sweeper, and I'm unlikely to beat that anyways. So they block here, take 7, block here. I guess the Haywire Mite technically says this attack is lethal if you have nothing, but they're gonna have something. They shocked in the Board Crypt. If it's like Terminate plus Kolagon's Command, it's not great, but also like throwing away the Mite. I don't know. I think it doesn't trigger. There's no targets for it. The Mite's not doing very much besides growing the constructs. Okay, this is fine. Surprised that I'm actually surprised that they decided to kill the Shadowspear instead of the construct with the spear on it. And then terminates the untapped construct token instead of them just killing one of the attackers. That's also odd. But it's at 7 life. These can't block. They can get... Okay, they can get their own Shadowspear. Okay, maybe that was the reason why. They can also get Haywire Mite, but they don't have green mana. This by itself is not that scary, though. Like, I think... So they go to 12. They block here. They take 12. So they need something else to not be dead. And we have the ability to clear this Elemental token with Asmo plus... Verdant Catacombs for Gingerbread Cabin. It's Grief. Move the... Okay, oh, wow, okay, so now Asmoing the Elemental token doesn't do very much, but I should have another Haywire Mite in the deck, right? There's one here. I have nothing in my graveyard. There's one in my sideboard, so there should be one more in the deck for me to just go Haywire Mite for 1, get rid of the Shadowspear. It should be lethal. Surf and Pocket Shoot, 10 months, thank you. If it's not lethal, I guess we can buff the constructs a little bit here. Oh, I can actually just kill the token. We can't crew the hearse. Okay. Go to game 3. Good game 2. Good game 2. Pikachu and Kutu, thank you for the 11 months. To game 3 we go. Why not tap the bite with Drum to second self? I mean, we had definitely lethal in play with the line I took, so there's no reason to nitpick. Alright, I'm going to mulligan this. My opponent's also to mull to 6. I don't like this hand very much. I think I'm putting back the Needle. I can get the Needle with the Saga if I feel like I need it. Opponent's not sure if they want to keep their 6. They do keep their 6. No monkey. I think I'm just gonna hold up Boseiju. I almost like never take this line, but I really feel like my opponent just has a Blood Moon. I don't. Wasn't picking man Juno Wonder. Yeah, I'm genuinely answering too. Like, when my opponent has no cards in hand, as soon as I find a line that is 100% to win, there's no conversation in my mind that needs to happen. There's no discussion about a better line. Any line that's 100% is the correct line. Might be gaining 3 life end of turn if they don't moon. They didn't have a land this last turn. There's a land. I have a feeling that this Blood Moon cannot come fast enough for my opponent. They pitched another Fury. So my problem is I can't pick up the Saga and gain life next turn, so I really have to top deck like an Asmo. Okay, we're not dead, we can gain 3 life, but we're dead to a Bolt. And we need top... We have a lot of top decks, Feasting Troll King, Asmo, Finale. But this may be an anticlimactic end. Missed a food end of turn. I didn't. I Boseiju'd my opponent's Blood Moon with this mana. I didn't miss it. I got rid of this Blood Moon, which I thought was more important. Oh, I missed making a food end of turn? Yes. Yes, I did. I did miss making a food. They have Surgical. Sucks. Grief Surgical will be hard to beat here. Alright, good match. Great match. Great match. Sadly, 4-1 both leagues instead of 5-0ing this one. Great match, though. I think I like this version. I think I like this version. I'll say that I think that you maybe just want to Fable over the desk, but I do want the Shadowspear. I do want the Needle in the main right now. I also think you can play a second Needle over the third Orvar on the side. Sorry to all the trophy believers. Wait, hold on. 51% of y'all bet on a trophy on the league prediction. 51% bet for trophy on the league prediction. Yeah, Goose is great. I like the Geese a lot. And I say this as someone who like historically has hated the Goose, but it's good here.